Anya Hinkle is joining the show today. Her new album is Eden and Her Borderlands. Anya, how are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. The first song I want to talk to you about today, and the one we just heard leading into the interview, is called Lady Luck. It has to be one of the more relatable songs I've heard in a while. You're singing about putting this good work and effort into the world and into your life, and Lady Luck, or whatever higher power you want to call it, is just not holding up her end of the deal. Is it reasonable to expect things to eventually go your way?
Well, I had come up with that song after I went for a run last summer in the middle, in the high of the pandemic when nobody just had any idea what was going on. And I ran by this peach tree that was in full fruit, and it had split right down the middle. It was so heavy, and there was just the fruit laying there on the sidewalk, and there was something so heartbreaking about that. And I think it was even more poignant with all of the uncertainty that we were all feeling. And that sort of made its way into the feeling of that song, and even some of the imagery, just thinking about all the things that we can't know and wondering if it's all going to turn out okay, not knowing, especially last summer, what was going to happen.
Yeah. Do you feel like, I guess, the world deserves better than what it's going through lately?
Well, we can't expect from the world what our hearts desire. It's the other way around, and we have to adapt to what is kind of working out because it's really out of our hands. It's up to us to adjust and adapt. And the funny thing is that we always get the things that we feel that we need in the end in some way. And as much as uncertainty is painful and uncomfortable, I think everyone has found some silver linings in all the things that we've been through. And I certainly feel that way.
Yeah, I think I'm enjoying working from home more often than I used to, without a doubt.
There's so many things that we can find some meaning and some silver lining in, and we just have to kind of get our radar up for that and picking up those things. It's not easy. I don't have any answers, just a mantra that I'm telling myself and reminding others. Sometimes I need the reminding more than I can really give. But in terms of that song, yeah, are you going to hold the line for me, Lady Luck? Is it all going to be okay? And you know what? It's all going to be okay.
That's sort of an interesting idea, that luck is almost what you're picking up on and noticing in terms of the good things, just as much as it is things actually going well.
Yeah, Lady Luck is, it's kind of a fortune or destiny. It feels like there's some teleological essence to her, that there's some purpose, that there's some direction that she has, there's some knowledge that we don't have. And that's why I'm almost like a goddess, like some sort of Greek goddess, Lady Luck. Maybe there is one, I'm not sure, probably. But maybe that's the next song.
Speaking of ladies, the next song I want to talk about is called Why Women Need Wine. I hear you describing women facing both unrealistic expectations and being talked down to constantly. But before I go ahead and mansplaining to the audience, how often are you faced with those types of struggles and interactions?
Well, I think, I definitely wanted to approach it with some humor, because I think that with things like this, it's a way that we can wrap our brains around. I think you did a wonderful job of interpreting it, actually. So thank you. I think that women generally approach the world with this imposter syndrome that there's no way we could possibly get it right. And that's just a really hard place to try to do anything from. We know that we have the best chance of succeeding when we feel confident, when we feel empowered, when we feel supported, and that's just not a place that we often come from. And it takes us, many, many years to even get there. And by that point, we're older, and then people don't really care about us anyways. It's just funny. And I think, I certainly don't want to advocate drinking, but I can say for myself that I was going through a hard time. My band was breaking up, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to keep my music career going. And a girlfriend of mine said, I've got a great bottle of wine. We're going to figure this out. Just come on over. And anyways, I felt so much better after laughing and crying and talking. And I was coming home thinking to myself, this is why women need wine. And, but really what I was thinking and saying below that is what we need is each other. We need to be able to laugh about the silly things that happen and the way that they make us feel, and our support and discussion around that kind of, I don't know, it can kind of help minimize the power of fear in doing the things that we're meant to do.
Is that a problem, especially in like a male-dominated industry like music, to feel sort of as an imposter?
Absolutely. I would say so. I think all artists and all musicians question their talents, question their abilities. But I think that women feel like they have to be even more talented and even more able to justify choosing this career. And certainly as you get older and want to have a family and are juggling those kinds of demands, certainly there can feel like there's a lot of hats to wear that you're never quite doing it right. And you don't see other women doing it. You just don't have the role models. You don't have the support. So, even with just living my life, when I'm playing with younger women, I think to myself, well, just by doing what I'm doing, I can help make them feel more, pave the way for them and make them feel more supported and give them a vision of how they could create their own version of a career for themselves in music.
All right. We're going to take a listen, and we will be right back.